Interesting for me is coming from a background in film and television is learning to operate a completely different set of skills when casting for radio, because you have to listen with your ears and not pay attention to the way that people look. And I think it's very important in casting, I think, when you're listening to somebody, to have your eyes shut when you're, or at least not have them within your sights. When we record radio drama, often the actors are completely out of sight, so that the producer can concentrate on listening to voices rather than reading facial expressions. And I think that's a really important thing in casting for radio, is don't let yourself be sidetracked by the way somebody looks into not considering them for certain roles. That's something you can carry through when you're, through auditions, through going to the theatre, through watching television. It's brilliant sometimes just to close your eyes and say, what does this person actually sound like? What kind of voice quality do they have? And I think also, and this is a problem that everybody comes up against when they do radio drama, is how can I have quite a lot of characters in this without them sounding like each other? So if you're casting 15, 16 characters in a drama, you've got to say, how do I make each of these distinctive to a listener who doesn't know any of these characters and who may have to follow quite a complicated plot with all these different characters in it. So it's about finding people whose voices are very different to each other so that you don't have that problem. And that is a constant struggle, because people do tend to have voices that are similar in ways, and it's trying as well to cast people in particular scenes that are not perhaps voices that are that similar, which I know is a policy that gets followed, for instance, on The Archers, which is the longest running, is to try and not write scenes where you have two characters with very similar voices.